Hey guys, RJ here. Is anyone else as excited as I am that Silicon Valley is finally back on TV? We got our season 4 premiere last night. I am so happy to see Guilfoyle and the boys back at their shit. Let's get started. I love the way that they opened this episode. I thought it was perfect that like you have this venture capital guy get into the car with Richard, and then he ends up doing pretty much this sales pitch in the car with Jared and at Bachman and everybody joining him on this video call to kind of push Piper's video chat or whatever. I thought that was perfect. That was a great bit for them. And then eventually like the guy actually gets interested in it, realizes what's happening, tries to bail out of the car. That whole bit was perfect. It was a great opening. And as soon as that music started playing, I knew I was back. Watching Dinesh and Guilfoyle go at it in the kitchen over the fact that Dinesh writes really crappy services and Dinesh hits back with like, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't know a billion people were going to try and use my really fucking cool app. So thanks for that, Guilfoyle. And then of course, Richard comes in and they're like, hey, did you put your code up? Did you post it last night? And he's like, well, not really. And we end up learning that Richard decided to write a bunch of code for 12-bit color on cell phones. And I mean, they make the same point that anyone would make, like nobody's going to frickin' use that. I obviously can't talk about this episode without talking about the Gavin Belson, Jack Barker stuff where Gavin just gets super pissed. And I love that they focus on this for the whole episode, was that Gavin gets super pissed at Jack for making them fly to a different destination. And it ends up costing Gavin like 28 extra minutes or something like that. And he just freaks out for the rest of the episode. There's nothing else that he focuses on. So pretty much no one is happy in this first episode. Ehrlich is super pissed over the fact that he has to pay all of these AWS fees and he's not getting any help from Big Head about giving out shares and stuff because now his dad is managing it. I love the fact that Big Head's dad is just like, I will do anything and everything in my power to pretty much piss you off because of what you did to my son. You fleeced him. And I like the Big Head sitting there like not caring at all. Once again, just like sipping out of a soda, and he does it throughout the whole episode. It's classic Big Head. I loved it. And I just like the fact that pretty much no one is happy at Pied Piper with Richard there. He's not focused on what he should be doing. And I think everyone's just kind of tired of dealing with him. So since Pied Piper is strapped for cash, Richard decides to take it upon himself to go and find someone that'll actually fund them. And he really shouldn't, because he ends up choosing the person that everyone at the company hates and is one of my favorite characters in the show. We finally get reintroduced to Russ Hanneman, the one, the only. The doors go like this, Richard. And yeah, I loved their conversation at the school, and there's all these parents around, and Russ is just like, yeah, I want you to fuck that dude, Richard. I want you to fucking good. I want you to find the dude that you want to fuck, and I want you to fucking good. So yeah, Richard, being the extremely malleable person that he is, he takes Richard Hanneman's words at face value. He runs off to go tell Monica, and he ends up learning that she's been moved to the extremely far back part of the hall, and he goes down there, and basically it's weird that she is his security blanket because they're so attracted to one another, and like it's kind of been set out in the open a few times, but we haven't really acknowledged it yet as the viewer or like through the script. But yeah, so he goes down there, tries to tell her that he's gonna have the team pivot. She does not agree with him, saying like, no, you, like, everyone, a ton of people search their entire lives to find an app with this kind of user growth, and you're just gonna like run away from it. And they include, to kind of like break the tension of the scene, they include the fact that Monica is right in front of the men's bathroom at the end, and he's like, oh, you can see right in there. I like the way that Richard actually approaches this whole issue. Instead of fighting the guys and having them pivot once again into something different, he actually goes in and tells them like, hey, I need to resign. All I need is the rights to the algorithm. You guys can actually use it. I'll give you a full license for free or whatever. Go use it on the video chat platform. I just need it to go and build something new. And I think I don't know if it's ironic or if it's supposed to be on purpose, but this is an actual pivot for the show. And they're kind of just showing like this is going back to the roots of Silicon Valley. Richard being alone, coming up with ingenious ideas. That's why this show caught on so fast in the first place. He's a very lovable character. I think he does a great job on his own in general. So I'm really excited to see what he ends up building. And I like the way he's talking about like using all the extra computational power that we have available to us that's just sitting idly in our pockets every day. This is actually like a real thing in the real world that they're trying to open source, like getting extra power that people aren't using and put it towards something good like scientific causes. And yeah, I like the way Richard's thinking, and I like the way that the show handles this, because he like ends up giving them a speech about, hey, I'm leaving, I need the algorithm. I'm gonna say two things. One, I think Dinesh should be CEO. And at first you're like, there's no way this is gonna get approved, but Guilfoyle ends up saying yes to it only because he gets to be front row and center to watching Dinesh inevitably fail and crash and burn. I love that. And he's like, I mean, if I'm wrong, I get to be rich. I love that just following that, we end up getting the scene between Jared and Richard, and it's a giant ode to White Fang where he's just like yelling at him, like, leave, like, go, like, get out of here, Jared. And Jared's face is just like,
go on, go! Listen to me, go!
I love the way that they end this episode with Jack Barker and Gavin Bellison kind of going at it again. Gavin ends up promoting Jack, and he sends him on this quest all the way downstairs. I love the elongated scene with Jack walking around all of these stairs. It takes forever. It just adds to the comedic part at the end. And so he eventually gets down to the data center all the way at the end of the hall. And of course, they bring back the bit with Monica where she was staring into the male restroom. They leave one there for Jack too. I just thought that whole thing was perfectly timed. Just in general, the Jack Barker Gavin Belson thing, I hope that they actually bring that back further in the season because those two together on screen is hilarious. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love the introduction episode for season 4. This was perfect. I will be covering the rest of Silicon Valley the entire season, so keep coming back here for more. Subscribe to us here on YouTube if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below. How hilarious did you guys think this episode was? I was dying at a few parts. I was like crying. It was perfect. I have no complaints. The visuals, the music, the end music again. Yeah, I'm so happy that this show is back. So let me know your thoughts down below. We also have social media links down in the video description. And until next time, guys, we'll see you soon.